NBC Right Now. Your local news at 6.
I won't be able to see her again, but she's always been in my heart. I always loved her.
A tragedy in Kennewick. A community is mourning 2 kids tonight who tragically lost their lives Monday afternoon.
And when a loved one dies, it can be difficult to know how to help kids cope with those losses, especially as you work through your own grief. There are some important things to remember, though, when talking with your kids. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Shane Ettinger.
And I'm Meredith Boggs. We begin tonight with the latest on a tragic death investigation out of Kennewick.
Police are still searching for answers after 2 children were found shot to death Monday afternoon inside their home.
Drew Austin arrived to the house in Hanson Park neighborhood around 5 p.m. and found 16-year-old Kate Austin and 12-year-old Ethan Austin dead in Kate's bedroom. Washington State Patrol's crime scene response team has been working nonstop since last night to find out what happened.
Investigators spent today talking with neighbors, but so far they haven't found anyone who saw or heard anything unusual. Officers say they found a medium-sized handgun near the children's bodies. They aren't looking for any suspects right now. Autopsies for both Kate and Ethan are scheduled for tomorrow. Tonight we're also learning more about Kate and Ethan Austin. Kate was a junior at Kamiakin High School. Ethan was a 6th grader at Desert Hills Middle School.
Fernanda Lopez spent the day talking to people that knew them. She joins us now from a vigil being held at the First Presbyterian Church in Kennewick.
Shane and Meredith, well, I keep hearing these were both great kids. Today, the Kennewick School District had counselors available at both schools in the libraries for any student wishing to talk about what happened. Now, I keep seeing people walk into this church behind me, and it's obvious this community is coming together to pray for these families.
We love you, Kate and Ethan.
Friends of Kate and Ethan Austin gathered at David Marshall's house today. David is Kate's boyfriend, and they were there to lend their support. But earlier today at Kamiakin High School, classmates also remembered their friend Kate. They sang this song in the cafeteria for her. Counselors were also available to help anyone cope with the loss of their fellow student.
She loved playing softball. She started playing when she was very young. She was a really good pitcher.
David says Kate was an avid softball player, but also a great artist. She played varsity since freshman year and was part of the state championship team.
She loved being with her friends.
David also knew Ethan well. Ethan and his little brother were the same age and were friends from school who often worked on projects together. Ethan was a Boy Scout and also loved to golf.
We didn't get the chance to go golfing together. I always wanted to.
He says he's just thankful to have the support of his friends right now.
They're like family to me. Everybody's family to me when it comes to supporting me. I mean, they're there for me at my ups and downs. They were there for her when she had ups and downs. They celebrated with her when they won state. You know, it's just, we're all together.
Now, again, I've been watching people come in and out of this church behind me to pray for this family as the community continues to grieve. Live in Kennewick, Fernanda Lopez, NBC Right Now.
Thank you, Fernanda. Well, for anyone struggling through this difficult time, the Kennewick First Presbyterian Church is opening its doors for another prayer vigil tonight. The church's main sanctuary will be open to anyone in the community who wants to pray for Kate and Ethan's friends and family. The vigil runs from 8 to 9 tonight.
Sharing a tragic story like this with your children can be a difficult thing to do. Today, Jane Sander talked with psychologists about what parents need to know to help their child understand and cope with a loss like this. Jane.
Shane, I found out from psychologists today that parents need to listen and validate how their child expresses their feelings about the death of a peer or another young person. I'm told it's important to tell your children that it's okay to grieve however they are feeling.
First of all, you want to give them opportunities to talk about it. To avoid it is just to kind of make things worse in the long run.
Validation and acknowledging your child's feelings. It's the foundation for helping a child cope with loss. Doctors say young children process loss differently than adolescents, and psychologists recommend explaining what happened like a story. For teens, specialists say parents should help them understand every person deals with grief differently.
Validating the adolescent, letting them know that however they're experiencing the grief is normal and that it's different for everybody. And they may see friends at school who are expressing it one way, and they may feel like, I'm not feeling that same way. Is that normal? And it is. Everybody experiences grief very differently, and you go through different stages.
Doctors also recommend sharing with adolescents several resources for help coping, like a counselor or family members. The key points to help your child grieve: listen and validate their feelings, explain to adolescents that people grieve differently, and share with adolescents resources to express their feelings.
Psychologists also suggest that parents set an example, showing resiliency and openness to express emotions. And they say to keep in mind there is no right or wrong way for your child to grieve. Live in the studio, Jane Sander, NBC Right Now.
Time now for a first check of the weather out there, and it's been a blustery day in our area. So windy, in fact, we still have red flag warnings out for high fire dangers out there. Let me show you our satellite and radar, and you'll find some showers way up north by Spokane and in the northern counties. They're quickly moving off to the east, and we have a few clouds over the top of us. The red flag warning is valid until 8 o'clock this evening. We've seen some winds as high as 46 miles an hour in the area. Partly cloudy and windy through the early evening hours, then decreasing clouds and decreasing winds overnight. Tomorrow we're back to calmer conditions under mostly sunny skies. And when I come back in a few minutes, we can talk in detail about what's coming up for the end of the weekend, the upcoming weekend. Meredith?
Thank you, Tim. We're learning new information tonight about a man who is in the hospital after being shot in both of his legs.
The shooting happened this morning after the suspect entered the home of 32-year-old Mark Cole along Walnut Avenue in Yakima and demanded money. A struggle ensued and the gun went off one time, hitting Cole in both of his legs. Yakima police say they know who they are looking for and they believe the shooting could be drug or gang related. Northwest News tonight, a teen gunman armed with a rifle shot and killed a 14-year-old freshman this morning at a high school just outside of Portland. Troutdale police say that the teen also shot and injured a teacher at Reynolds High School. Then police believe that the teen most likely killed himself. Officers have not released the name of the student killed or the shooter. The teacher's injuries are not life-threatening.
An explosion jolted a Walla Walla neighborhood yesterday. 2 men suffered second and third degree burns. We sent Don Grenice to get further details. Don, what caused the explosion?
Meredith, police believe it was a marijuana hash oil extraction process that went wrong. It happened around 3:30 yesterday. An on-duty officer just happened to be nearby and actually pulled one of the 2 men in the home's basement out of the rubble. Friends and family members we met with today told us one of the men who actually owned the home is likely to be released today from the Seattle hospital they were both airlifted to.
It's a humongous boom. It knocked stuff off of our wall and stuff. And I thought someone hit the side of our house with a truck or something. So I came out mad and go back. And 2 of my friends were badly injured.
A woman and 2 young kids were also in that home at the time, but made it out without any injuries. This is the second explosion recently in Walla Walla, believed to be caused by this type of hash extraction. Live in the studio, Don Grenice, NBC Right Now.
Thank you, Don. Well, still ahead, when you think All-American City, does the city of Yakima come to mind? Well, if it doesn't, think again.
We'll take a look at what it takes for a city like Yakima to earn this prestigious honor coming up.
She snapped this photo of her rhododendrons at sunset. Oh,
Wow.
They're just gorgeous. They're so big and beautiful.
I love the color.
Yeah, we like flowers and other weather pictures, you guys. So here's that email address to share more with us. NEWS@NBCRightNow.com.
Women, Tim, love flowers.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
All right, thanks.
Up next, we're just a few days from finding out if Yakima's earned the distinction as an All-American City.
What's not to like? The weather's beautiful and the city is making strides in handling crime. What makes Yakima a contender? Next. The date is getting closer and soon we'll find out if Yakima has been selected as a winner of one of the All-American City Awards.
Laura Murray found out today exactly what it takes to be recognized as an All-American City. Laura.
Shannon Meredith, being named an All-American City doesn't mean you are perfect by any means. To win, you have to show that you have civic engagement, innovation, and use collaborative efforts to tackle any pressing local issues. Joe Mann greets friendly faces outside his downtown business. He's lived in Yakima for 53 years and says there's no other place he'd rather be.
We have beautiful weather. We have beautiful people that live here, and you know, there's a lot of places people can't work together. But in Yakima, we do work together.
That unity encouraged Mann to put Yakima's name in the running for the 2014 All-American City Award. But he's certainly heard skepticism during this process. In fact, Mann says people have come up to him asking why he's devoting so much time to the project, since Yakima has its fair share of crime, graffiti, and gang issues. But Mann tells us almost every city has these problems, and at least Yakima is being proactive about it.
It's showing, you know, by no means that we have the perfect community, you know, but we identify our problems and we pull all the groups to work together to solve those problems.
Mann says when people are willing to work together, they can change their community for the better.
Case in point, the medical school. You know, that wasn't an easy thing, you know, the first medical school in 60 years west of the Mississippi. And to have it here in Yakima, and to have it funded, you know, the majority of it funded by residents of Yakima, it's amazing.
That's why Mann thinks Yakima deserves to be named the 2014 All-American City. And we'll find out soon enough. A group of delegates is traveling to Denver, Colorado on Thursday. They're giving their presentation Sunday morning, and that night, Sunday night, we'll find out if Yakima has been crowned a 2014 All-American City. Live in Yakima, Laura Murray, NBC, right now.
Fingers crossed, right?
Exactly. Yeah, hope for the best.
All right, well, up next in sports, the Mariners return home after a red-hot road trip.
Plus, the Tri-City Dust Devils now just 3 days away from kicking off their 2014 season. We'll hear from the team up next.
Recapping today's top stories, police are still searching for answers after 2 children were found shot to death yesterday in their Kennewick home.
Police have identified the 2 children as 16-year-old Caitlin Austin and 12-year-old Ethan Austin. Officers say that they found a medium-sized handgun near the children's bodies in the home. They are not looking for any suspects right now. Autopsies for both Caitlin and Ethan are scheduled for tomorrow. Yakima County Commissioners unanimously approved a ban today on the production, processing, and retail sale of marijuana. Now, this ban does not affect cities in Yakima County, and the ban also does not prohibit possessing or smoking marijuana. That is still legal.
Recapping that weather as we go into the evening hours, we still have the red flag warning out there. It should expire about 8 o'clock tonight, and then the winds on the decrease overnight tonight. Tomorrow it's mostly sunny. Back to you there, Shane and Meredith.
Thank you, Tim. Finally tonight, a wildfire that disrupted an Oregon couple's wedding also gave them the photograph of a lifetime.
The groom says a fire truck rolled up at Rock Spring Ranch near Bend Saturday with sirens blaring, and the wedding party was told to evacuate. So the minister did an abbreviated ceremony. And as guests headed for their cars to go to the reception, the wedding photographer took this photo of the couple with a raging wildfire in the background. Intense.
Yeah, everybody wants to have unique wedding photos. Yeah. This one, they may have topped all of their friends with that one for sure.
I mean, it's gorgeous. It's something you can say that was not photoshopped.
It's kind of a metaphor of their fire for each other.
The burning love.
Exactly. Well, we wish them the best.
Yes,
and hopefully that's the most excitement they see
indeed.
in the next year or so. We'll be back at 11 with more headlines. We'll see you then.
Bye-bye.